It's a blessing.
He's scared to stand up.
For me to say
140 pounds inside of his household.
My wife, I've been married 10 years. I've been divorced for 4 months.
You good, you good. You good. No, you good. Talk to me. So you been divorced for 4, you say?
I've been divorced for 4 months.
4 months.
That means I've been out. She left the nigga that she was messing with. I've been gone for 8. She been messing with a nigga for 6 years since I've been gone. She dropped me like 5. When she's telling me to move on, but her actions is not what she speaks. How do I go about it?
So you did no. Okay, so I'm gonna take everything you're saying. So you was dealing with someone for 8.
Okay. It's more than 8.
It was 10, right?
It's more than 10.
It was more than 10.
I've been married before my son was born.
Okay, and then you went away for those 8.
I would leave my son till I was 3.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you come back.
Okay, I come back.
And then from you coming back, it's been 4 months.
I've been out for 4 months.
You've been out for 4 months.
Crazy.
Okay.
And she dropped the nigga like 5. I don't know what to think.
So this is the thing, brother. Without the Lord, talk to me.
Hold up. Before you start, I have to say this because it's a contradiction of me not saying this. Because I'm not giving you the full truth.
Okay.
Of me not giving you full truth, I'm lying.
Okay.
As a man, I'm lying. She have a son. When you read that book from this brother, the first word he said is adultery.
Yeah, verse 9.
Now, bring it to that chapter, and she had a son on me. His birthday is June the 7th. My birthday is June the 17th. And it's cool with me. He already called me dad. I don't even be around him like that.
If you scared, there's a congregation somewhere for you.
For me to say that,
Okay, so the thing with the whole relationship aspect, brother, without the Lord at the forefront, showing that love to one another, whether it's your wife or whether it's your brother, whether it's your cousin, whether it's your kinfolk, that's going to be an afterthought, right? Give me Galatians 5 and 6. That I want.
You know you can find it. I know you can find it.
No. I want 16. Start at 16. Read that.
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
See, if you were walking in the spirit, if she was walking in the spirit on the beginning of the relationship, if the Lord was that foundation, read it again, bro.
Walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
That lust of the flesh, when y'all came together, y'all made this vow to one another that I'm the husband, you my wife. My duty to you, and your duty is to me, right? If you were walking in the spirit, when whatever situation went down to where you had to went away, things would have still been the same way it left when you came home. There wouldn't have been the child. There wouldn't have been a whole nother body. There wouldn't have been none of that. Because at the beginning of the foundation of your relationship, if the spirit was there, if the Lord was there, all of that would have been understood. Hold that. Go back to Romans 8 and 9. Hey, you been 100. You been 100.
I want you to give it to me none. Don't dumb me down.
Now read that. Chapter 8. Excuse me, 13 verse 9. Chapter 13 verse 9. Read that. 13 verse 9.
Book of Romans chapter 13 verse 9.
Fact start at 8.
Verse 8. Oh no man anything but to love one another.
And that's walking in the spirit, right? Read.
For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
By you walking in the spirit, by you owing no man anything but to love one another, you are fulfilling the law. Well, one of the laws that we have is to not have adultery, to not commit that adultery, right? Read, bro.
For this, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Because if I owe no man anything but love him, I am fulfilling the law, so therefore I'm not going to commit adultery. Read.
Thou shalt not kill.
I'm not going to look ill will at my brother, look ill will at my woman, look ill will at my children, have no hatred in my heart, none of that. I'm not going to have none of that. Read.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt not steal.
So even in that situation, bro, the precious thing that we have again is time. I'm not gonna play with nobody's time.
That's right.
I'm not gonna play with nobody's emotions. I'm gonna be 100 up front. I'm gonna give them the game as it is. I'm gonna be real. Read.
Thou shalt not bear false witness.
So on top of that, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna tell you that I love you, and then once I realize you down and it's my moment to hold you up, I'm not gonna do all that, do something stupid. I'm not gonna step out and commit adultery. I'm not gonna step out and lie. I'm not gonna step out and bear false witness. Read.
Thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So if I'm gonna love my neighbor as I love myself, if I'm gonna love someone that I'm calling my husband, if I'm gonna love someone that I'm calling my wife as myself, you wouldn't want nobody to step out on you. So therefore, you weren't gonna step out nobody else.
That's right.
Because you gotta think about it. Everything that we do, we gotta take that up with the Lord. Everything that we do has a consequence, whether it's good or whether it's bad. So if you owe no man anything, the only thing you got coming to you is more love. The only thing you got coming to you is more positivity. The only thing you got coming to you is more happiness. The only thing you got coming to you, bro, is more joy. Go back, Galatians 5:16. Read it from the top.
This I say then, walk in the Spirit.
So if you owe no man anything, you are walking in the Spirit. Read.
And you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
You're not going to jump into that adultery. You're not going to bear that false witness. You're not going to lie. You're not going to steal. You're not going to cheat. You're not going to do all of these things. Read.
For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit.
Because we understand, man, that carnal always wrestling with the Spirit. But when you locked in with the Lord, when you love the Lord according to your actions, because everybody say I love, that emotion don't mean nothing. Show me your work. Show me through your action, right? I got you. Let me finish this and then we're going to go right to that. Read.
And the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary one to the other, so that she cannot do the things that she would.
He say, because you're not going to do the things that you would if the Spirit was already locked in on you. So again, with all of that time being gone, the only thing you can do now is pay it forward. Show that positivity. Be that light for the next brother that may have dabbled into the same situation you have, but they ain't went and got caught or they ain't had nothing happen yet. You could be that voice to deter them from going down that road to where they take 8 years from their life. Hell, they take 20, 15 years from their life. You can be that deterrent. And what was your next question, brother?
I'm a great believer, and I am a great forgiver. They say our heart leads us to great things, but our heart also leads us to terrible things.
It's desperately wicked, yeah.
We don't use our mind.
Because according to the scripture,
I asked a woman,
not even an effeminate man is getting the kingdom of
I'm
God.
asking
You cannot be weak. You have to be willing to protect
But I
yourself.
asked a woman,
You have to
if
be
she
willing
loved
to
me with her
protect
mind
your
or her
family.
heart.
Why do you make the
But she
man
doesn't
too
answer.
strong? You will make
What do I
strong
take
in
of
order to protect the weak.
Well, brother,
The women and the children, not you.
you got to be, before you speak, you always want to take in what's being said. You don't want to be quick to answer anything that you know for a fact ain't what it is. Because at the same time, if somebody right now, you ask somebody a question, and they know for sure they don't know the answer, but they give you a BS answer, and then you go check up that answer, you going to come back to that person like, bro, you bullshit. You see what I'm saying? But if you say something and somebody takes the time to process what you're saying, whether it be for your happiness or whether it be for solace for you or to make sure to put your mind at ease, if they really love you, they're not just going to give you no BS, they're going to be 100. So if they can't answer that question right then and there when you gave it to them, they need time to think about the answer that they really got to give you.
One more question.
Go ahead. What you holding? Okay.
What you got
No.
to do, brother?
He good. I was going to give your question. Because that all come with that common sense. Talk to me.
As I believe as men, we believe that a woman gave me this answer. She also gave me this question. It opened my mind. That's why I love her
And he
so
shall
much.
bless thee in the land which the Lord giveth thee.
She asked me
The Lord
a
shall establish
question,
thee
but also
holy
an
people
answer.
unto himself.
As question my mind as
to thee.
some people is here for a season, and some people are here for a lifetime. And for me to seeing that, when she dropped the
You gonna have to serve the Most High.
and I called
And in order for you to serve the Most High, you gonna have to be strong, black Hispanic community in your family.
she tell me she been waiting on my call. Like I've been waiting on you to call me. But she also
You gonna have
me
to be strong. It ain't no other way around it. You're not gonna be able to be weak. You're not gonna be able to just.
You pretty much going back to that initial first question, right? So this is the thing. If she was the one that you asked that question to, right now, brother, just you need patience. You need patience because at the same simple fact, yes, y'all were together, but she moved on. She got a whole nother situation. She got a child from this situation. That's a messy situation on its own right there. You just got your time back. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna answer your question with a question.
I like that. I swear to God, I ain't never met a person. And I told a person
He good.
myself that never asked a question with a question unless it's beneficial.
So my question for you is, with that whole messy situation and you just not getting your time back, do you think it is beneficial for you to jump off into the waters, deal with that whole messy situation? Now you got a whole nother man in this situation. You got another man's child in this situation. Is that the type of energy you really need right now? Or do you need to get your foundation solid and to make up for those time that you was gone?
As a man, I put this on my son and I look you in the eye.
All you gotta do is return back to the magnificent standard laid before you, and it's gonna start with you not being weak.
That's where I gave myself to. As a man, I never thought that I'd submit to a woman. And for a man to submit to a woman, it means to a lot.
What's that,
She's a true queen.
4 and 24? You know what I mean? Yeah, I got you.
She's a true queen to me. And I'm not even looking at the beneficial or the artificial. It's looking at, it's not love with us anymore.
What right now, what it is, brother, is the flesh. The flesh is warring with the spirit right now. The carnal is wrestling with the spirit. In your mind, you right now, you got that voice telling you, this really ain't what I need to be doing. But your flesh is telling you, bro, I didn't put time in with her. We got memories, bro. We got all of this time that we done put together. But the spirit, bro, the spirit is telling you this is not what you need right now. Again, go back to Galatians. We're gonna read it again from the top. Read that from verse 16.
This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
See, that spirit, bro, that spirit is going to give you good doctrine. That spirit is going to give you that counseling, because we all innately know right from wrong. We know exactly what we need to do, and we know exactly what we don't need to do. That's innately in us. The Lord give us that discernment. Read.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
So it's telling you that if you fall in on that spirit is going to guide you to where you don't make the mistake of the carnal. Because just like you said, that y'all had this time that you went away because you was trying to build the situation for that family. Well, that same energy you had, apparently that same energy wasn't right there being reciprocated to you. Because if that was the case when you came out, it would have been a family waiting for you. So then when I asked that question, is this something that you really need to put your time into? Because now there's a whole nother man.
Bring it out!
A whole nother situation.
Bring it
A
out!
whole nother child. Read that.
First Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for a woman.
For what?
For a woman.
Read it again from the top.
Yea, Many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
Say there have been many of men have ran out of their wits for a woman. Many of men then lost their time over a woman. Many of men have lost their brother over a woman. Many of men have lost their friendships over a woman. Many of men have lost their lives over a woman. So when you think about all of the things in play, all of the pieces on the board, right now, brother, that is not a situation I would advise to put yourself in.
Okay, I like this. And I like your decision. And guess what? As a man, I'm coherent. I'm not going to say I lied to you and I'm going to accept it.
Yeah.
But I'll take your advice as coherent. Because coherent is that I listen.
And that's all I can do. All I can do is drop that seed. You know, it's between you and the Lord what decision you ultimately make. But again, me being your brother, me being somebody that's gonna love you like I love myself, and I want the best outcome for you, I'ma tell you what I think would be best for your situation. What is best, I would say, brother, is that don't even deal with that situation. Get your foundation in order. Get back in order. Get your job rolling in where you got the bread coming in where you can provide for your son. Because just because you're not in the house don't mean he don't still need a father. Just because you're not in the house don't mean he still don't need that positive outlook. Just because you're not in the house don't mean that he still don't need that person there to give him guidance. But if you take that route and things get messy, who's to say that you're gonna wake up the next day? Who's to say that you don't go back in for using your time running out of wits over a woman, and now another man that lost his life, that lost his father, and now your son that lost your father back into the time. Read.
St. Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 24. Therefore, whosoever hear these saying of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man. I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
What he's saying is that wisdom that's coming out, he likened that unto a man that's built his house on a rock, meaning he has a solid foundation. If you know anything about construction of concrete, one of the first things that they do is put their rebar in. Their rebar is to strengthen that concrete. Get that foundation built, because if you're going to put a building, if you're going to put more weight, if you're going to put more burden, you need something solid at the bottom that's holding you up. That's what that wisdom is. Right? That's what it's going into. So when you ask what my advice would be, brother, I would say get your foundation in order. Get all of the things you need to provide for yourself and for your son. Don't put yourself in a situation where you may be taken away from your son again. Yes, sir.
What if I already done that? What if I already got a job that paid me $2,500 a month?
Okay.
Then I got disability.
Okay.
And when I ask for something that I want, but I can't get, what am I supposed to do?
You ask for something that you want, but you can't get. What do you mean by that? Like, is something carnally? Something like is it between you and another person? Is it an object? It's a person.
Like they say, loyalty is earned, it is not given.
Yeah.
And also it's trust. And when I mean when you get in the position of speaking, and when you get on for so long, and you come back and you want that position, and you can't retain that position, as you already got the foundation, but the person is not willing to that building.
So what you're saying is you got all of the pieces to complete your puzzle, except for that particular piece. So again, I'm gonna answer your question with a question, right?
Give it to me raw.
So it all come back to being obedient to the Lord, right? You a father, right? As a father, what is your responsibility and obligations as a father?
And as a father,
Psalm 78 and 5.
It's not my responsibility.
That ain't no identity.
I'm going to say this my biggest failure as a father.
It can't be
I don't leave a foundation for my son before I die.
Okay.
Because if I don't leave my son with a house, insurance, how can I say I'm a father? Because I'm depending on him to bury me. Why can't I pretend on myself to bury myself?
So I feel you. So what I'm going into is the responsibility of a father is, yes, to leave a solid foundation for your son, yes, but also to give them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. For them, when they get out on their own, that there's nobody being able to take advantage of them. Nobody is able to get in their ear and feed them BS. Nobody is able to pull the wool over their eyes. They're able to critically think and figure their way out of a situation. And when they cannot get themselves out of a situation of their own power, they have the mind state to ask the appropriate help.
That's right.
Again, as a responsibility of a father, you're supposed to instill these tools into your child, right? So, this is what I'm going into. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel.
He did what?
And appointed a law in Israel.
Right? So the Lord, right? Our Father, right? We his children. He instilled in us a law. He instilled in us guidelines. He instilled in us instructions, right, that we should follow. So the responsibility of the father is to give you instruction, right? Give you that game, that solid foundation. Now, as the responsibility of the children is to listen coherently, and now once they've listened, to put it into action, right? When you hear what's being said, you put it into action. Case in point, growing up, if you had one of them moms that told you, I need you in the house when the street lights come on. If the street lights come on and you ain't in the house, what happened? She pull out that belt. She tell you go get a switch. You feel me? By you being disobedient to her instruction, now she has to instill correction, right? So now the Lord gave us, hello, brother. Hey, Matthew. Don't spark that up right now, brother. Don't spark it up. I'm gonna get into why I said that, but I want to answer your question first. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Right? Step in a little bit. There you go. Read.
Which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children.
So us being parents, us being fathers, and us being mothers, our responsibility is to now instill that same knowledge, that same instruction, that same wisdom that the Lord gave to us into our children. So it all comes back full circle to what you're saying, that foundation, giving them the understanding, giving them the game.
That's right.
But again, it comes on to what we are doing. Read.
That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born.
So if we ourselves, as children of the Father, are not doing what the Father needs us to do on our end, what happened? Because we children, we're not listening to the Father. We got to get what? We got to get correction, right? And guidance. So this is the Lord using this as a learning experience. If we don't get the things that we are urging and seeking for, we have to look at ourselves to see, what am I not doing, or what am I doing too much of? Give me Psalms 11:1. Read that.
Psalm.
Is it 11:1 or is it Proverbs 11? Proverbs 11:1. Proverbs 11:1. My bad, bro. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord.
See, a false balance to the Lord, bro, is a bad thing. Because if you got too much on one side, it's not enough here. You got too much on this side, it's not enough here. The Lord needs us to be balanced, because with balance, there's no confusion. With balance, there's no animosity. With balance, there's no issue. With balance, there's happiness. With balance, there's joy. With balance, there's peace. With balance, there's knowledge. With balance, there's wisdom. With balance, there's understanding. Right? So us being in a position now that we have people underneath us, i.e. our children, our wives, our families, we have to make sure that we're doing everything we need to do to uphold the Father, but as well to uphold our responsibilities to them. So if we're falling short on the end of our family, that means we falling short on the end with the Lord.
That's right.
So to answer your question, I would take the time to reflect on what I have going on in my life to see exactly if what I got going on is really what I need to be doing or if I'm doing too much of something. And that's an internal thing with you and the Lord. I would look into that. You know, I would really sit down and reflect on what I have going on in my life. Because again, that's between you and the Lord. The Lord is going to reveal to you what you need. Because he's not going to put you in no situation you can't get out of.
That's right.
Because he's a father, right? You're not going to put your son in a situation where it just look like he ain't got nobody that love him. You ain't gonna put your brother in a situation where it feel like he ain't got no help on the side. Because again, if the Lord tell us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves, ain't he gonna do the same thing? You see what I'm saying? Right on.
I ain't only one second.
Oh, real time. I got you.
I ain't gonna lie, you talking that turkey, bro. And your blessing is
He good.
It's that mic. It's that mic. I swear to God, I've been out for 4 months. And I've been in downtown 3 days.
Yeah.
You're the only person I ever listened to. Your blessing is that mic. And for me to say this,
if you a man before you go into slavery,
it's
they kill you.
when you dumb it down
In
to a
front of your
person.
women and in front of your
But
children.
it's a different when you give
That's
it
what
to a
happened to
person
you.
real.
That's why you hate yourself.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And I respect you, bro.
Right on.
Man, not as a religion or whatever you believe in. As a man, that would stand first before your religion. Because
bring it out
before you believe in anything, you have to stand as a man. And I swear to God, bro, there's a reason why I stopped right now. I swear to God, bro.
It's all the Lord, brother. This is something you needed to hear.
That's right.
Give me that in Sirach 2, because I want you to show what the Lord really do to build us up to what we need to be.
Bring it out.
Sirach 2. Read that.
Sirach, chapter 2. My son, if thou wilt come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Because again, right, growing up, we all had our day ones, we had our aces, we had everybody we was chilling with, right? But before that they became that, things had to transpire for us to know that that person that's with me is riding with me. See, the Lord gonna do the same thing, right? As a father, again, your responsibility is to give your child everything that they need, all of the tools to success, whether it be knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? So he say, when you come to follow me, prepare for the temptation. He's gonna put you in situations to build you up mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Bring it out.
Read, bro.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And constantly endure.
What he mean by that constantly endure is don't let the flesh take over the spirit. Because again, remember, they wrestle with each other. Again, we all innately know right from wrong. We all know good from bad. We all know if we should be doing something or if we shouldn't be doing something. So he say, when you come to follow me, get ready, because now I have to test you, because through that test, you either gonna come out the better version of yourself or you gonna come out seeing where your faults are and you need to build. Read.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
He say, do what, bro?
And make not haste in time of trouble.
That making not haste in time of trouble, like I told you earlier, taking that time to analyze what's being said to you before you answer. That patience. Make not haste in time of trouble. Take the time to really look at what's going on, because in that time of trouble, it may not even be a time of trouble. You may have fabricated it all in your mind because of how the situation played out. But at the end, was when you really look at it, it ain't even an issue. But when you jump off that porch, off of that first witness, off of your own vain thoughts, you done set yourself up for failure. See, the Lord say, prepare yourself, because I'm going to give you all the tools you need to build yourself into the best version of yourself. Read.
Cleave unto him.
He say, do what, bro?
Cleave unto him and depart not away.
Say, cleave unto him and depart not away, because the Lord got your best interest at heart. Because again, the responsibility of a father is what? To give you all the tools you need to succeed. Read.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
What's going to happen if you endure?
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
What's going to happen if you have patience?
Increased at thy last end.
Say that you're going to be increased at the last end. If you have that patience, if you make not that haste, the things that you need going to play out the way you need them to. In the time frame you need them to happen. See, that's how important the word of the Lord is. That's how important having that love is. That's how important being positive is. It's because it paves the way for everything to roll the way you need it to. And if something happens along that route, a bump happen along that route, a speed bump happen along that route, guess what? Your mind is well equipped to handle the issue. You're not gonna freak out. You're not gonna jump off of first initiative. Read, bro.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
He say, do what, bro?
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Say again, he say, whatever is brought upon you, take it cheerfully, because at the end of the day, understand this is for the building of my spirit. This is for the building of my mind. This is the building of my body, because at the end of the day, you got a whole son that you got to look after. At the end of the day, you got a whole son who's looking up to you for that example. At the end of the day, you got a whole family that's on your shoulders that you have to be the best version of yourself so they can be the best version of themselves. Read.
And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
He say, do what, bro?
And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
He say, and be patient when you are changed to a lower estate. That right there. Read it again, because I want Matthew to really feel what I'm saying. Read that again.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
He say, whatever happened, take cheerfully and be patient when you are changed to a low estate. Like you said yourself, brother, you just got out. All of that time that you had was taken from you. Now is the time to use that as foundation to build. Foundation to be the better version now than when you went in. He say, when you change to that lower state, take it cheerfully, because at the end you know that this is building me up to be the best I can be. Not only for yourself, but again, you got a whole child. This for you too, sis. When we change to a lower state, we shouldn't be so hastily just to do any and everything. We need to take time to analyze what's really going on, because guess who will be our worst enemy? Ourselves. Will tell us everything we need to know, everything we need to do to end up in the wrong side of the situation, or to end up in the best side of the situation. So when you take that time and you being patient, when you change to that lower state and you not hastily to jump out the porch in time of trouble, now you can critically think, okay, do I really need to be doing this? Did I really need to have this in my life, or did the Lord take this from me so I can put my time towards something that really needed to be built on? Right? See, it say take time, bro. That's the one thing that we look as a concept that is something that we just gonna always have.
That's right.
You don't get tomorrow. You don't get your yesterdays back.
Okay.
They don't come back.
They don't.
All you can do is look forward to what's on the horizon, what's in front of you. Stepping forward, building.
I got a question.
Right on, talk to me.
Hey, as a horizon, it's a difference between the horizon and the illusion. Because a horizon,
I know, yeah, it's a difference. Yeah.
But when we in the desert, it's a horizon.
I know where you're going, but this is the thing. Right? A horizon is just going into what's ahead, right?
Okay.
An illusion is going into disruptive of your mental.
I swear to God, don't get close.
And what we do is we fabricate what we want in our own mind, which is that illusion. The Matrix is an illusion because we look at the Matrix as if it's real, but the Matrix is everything that we want to be, or everything that we know we shouldn't have, but we want to have it. We lie to ourselves that this is what I need when it's killing you. This is what I need when it's destroying you. This is what I need when it's making you depressed. That's that illusion. That horizon is what's ahead of you to make you better.
That's right.
That's the Lord. When he say make not haste in time of trouble, that's the Lord. That's looking towards that horizon.
That's right.
Right? Finish it out in Sirach, and then I'm going to bring up the next teacher.
For gold is tried in the fire.
He say for what?
For gold is tried in the fire, and the acceptable man, and the furnace of adversity.
He say just like that gold that's tried through that fire, that's sent through that fire to be smithed out and all the impurities taken away to where now you have pure gold, that precious metal. You yourself as a man, you yourself as a sister, as that woman, you gonna go through the same trials and adversities, and at the end of that, you gonna come out as that pure gold. You gonna come out as that man that's standing 10 toes on his foundation. That sister that's standing 10 toes on her foundation.
That's right.
That's what's waiting at the end of that horizon.
Bring it out.